In this hour of the Weekend Morning Report, a woman is pushing for stricter penalties on owners of dangerous dogs after she suffered a vicious dog attack and its owner fled.
Plus, we explore a program designed to help young veterans get the job skills they need to transition into civilian professional life. That and more next on the Weekend Morning Report. 6 a.m. on this Saturday. Good morning, everyone. I'm Clay Gordon.
And I'm Katie Bavoso. We're all back together again this weekend, and it feels so good.
Yeah.
So let's bring in the third member of our team. What do you say?
Yeah, the star.
Corey Frumpkin.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
All right, now it's a story we've been following. A juvenile facing charges this morning after threatening to terrorize Bangor High School students over the internet.
The person made the threat on social media, causing Bangor High School to cancel its bonfire on Thursday night. Police say they were contacted by a parent who saw the social media post that indicated there would be trouble at the bonfire. Bangor police and school officials tell us they resolved the situation and that due to this person's age that was arrested, they will not release that person's name.
It's really unfortunate that stuff like this happens to our schools up here in Maine, which it shouldn't happen anywhere in any school in any part of the world or in this country.
Yeah, we were planning on, and then it got canceled like the minute after it was supposed to start. So.
Did you feel like that was a real bummer?
Yeah, a little bit, because I kind of wanted to go.
Well, luckily for those students who were disappointed by that cancellation, the bonfire has now been rescheduled to tonight at 8 o'clock. The victim of a vicious dog attack is pushing for tougher, dangerous dog laws across the state.
And she has the support of one lawmaker who will introduce new legislation during the next session. The attack happened in Gardner last summer. Cynthia Rudman was walking through a parking lot when two boxers lunged at her. They bit her ear, head, arms, and hip, leaving her bruised, bloodied, and battling PTSD. The dog's owner separated the animals and left the scene without offering any help. Rudman was stunned to learn the dogs would be euthanized, but the owner would walk free. It is not a crime in Maine to leave the scene of a dangerous dog attack, something Republican Representative Matt Pouliot wants to change.
We should all be able to walk our public streets without fear of being attacked by a vicious dog.
I just wish people would just take responsibility for their dogs, put them on leash, care about the person walking next to you.
The proposed law would make leaving the scene of a dog attack a Class C felony, punishable by up to 5 years in prison. The University of Maine is on high alert after two of their students are diagnosed with viral meningitis. According
to the Portland Press Herald, both students are taking courses on the Orono campus, and school officials say they are presently at home recovering from the illness. Both reportedly lived off campus and did not take any classes together. The school's main nursing education building is being disinfected regularly as a precaution. Symptoms of viral meningitis include fever, headache, stiff neck, and nausea. Veterans Day is coming up, a time to honor all of those who have served in the United States military.
But for younger veterans, there are other issues, including education and job training, that affect their ability to resume life as civilians. And those vets say they could use a little more help. News Center Maine's Don Kerrigan has the story.
News Center Maine.
A new report shows that the real estate market is continuing to show signs of growth across the state.
According to Maine listings, the median sales price for a Maine home rose to $215,000 for the month of September. That's 3.75% higher than the median price found in September of last year. Sales were down about 5% from last year, though. Nationally, the trend was similar. Prices saw an increase of 4.6%, while the number of sales fell by 4%. Lottery fever is sweeping the country. As of now, the Mega Millions is record $1.6 billion after no one claimed the drawing last night. Here in Maine, the state lottery officials project ticket sales of over $1 million yesterday alone.
That's just in the state of Maine. That's amazing. No one has matched all 6 numbers and won the Mega Millions grand prize since July 24th, which is how this prize just got so big. If there's a jackpot winner from the drawing, then that person can choose the cash option, which would pay an immediate $565 million. Would you take that cash option, or would you go for the other option?
I would go with the cash option, and if you go with the cash option, you got an immediate friend in me.
Yeah, same here. 2 friends for the price of 1. Let me tell you what. Well, we did have some snowflakes across the state this week, but could we be expecting more over the weekend?
Corey's next with the forecast. Stay with us.
Moving on to some national news now. After weeks of speculation, the Saudi government is admitting that Saudi Arabian citizen and Washington Post contributor Jamal Khashoggi died in the country's consulate in Istanbul, Turkey.
So far, 18 Saudi citizens have been apprehended for their roles in this incident. Here's a post from the Saudi Foreign Ministry's office saying that Khashoggi died during a fistfight with suspects that were trying to get him to return to Saudi Arabia. The ministry's office added that the people involved in his death then tried to cover it up.
While campaigning for Martha McSally in Arizona yesterday, President Donald Trump said the arrested suspects are a good first step in the investigation and that a punishment against the Saudis should be in order. But he added his hopes that Congress steers clear of sanctioning the over $100 billion in arms deal that American military manufacturers have made with the Saudi government.
We do have some questions. And as I told you, I'll be working on this with Congress. Congress is very interested in this one, and we'll be working with Congress. But I would prefer, if there is going to be some form of sanction or what we may determine to do, if anything, because this was a lot of people they're talking about, and people pretty high up. But I would prefer that we don't use as retribution canceling $110 billion worth of work, which means 600,000 jobs.
The president says he wants to talk to the Saudi crown prince before any steps are taken. Central American migrants reportedly trying to make their way to the United States are meeting resistance as they attempt to cross over from Guatemala into Mexico.
These drone images were shot Friday on the Guatemala-Mexico border. Mexican federal police say that their officers clashed with migrants trying to cross into southern Mexico. The caravan, made up of mostly migrants from Honduras, is estimated in the thousands. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visited Mexico's president yesterday. Pompeo called the caravan an organized effort to violate the sovereignty of Mexico. He also added that the U.S. is willing to help Mexico in any way possible to stop the caravan.
Here is a Twitter post from President Trump on Thursday threatening to deploy the U.S. military and close down the southern border if the procession is not stopped.
All right, well, coming up, it is the best part of the week.
That's right. It's where we all get a little fuzzy therapy because Fetch Me a Home is right here in our studios next.
It is 6:21, and it's time for everyone's favorite segment of the week.
That's right. It's Fetch Me a Home here on the Weekend Morning Report. And once again, we have Morgan joining us from Mid-Coast to Maine. And Morgan, who is this big guy?
This is Mars. He is a 5-year-old Great Dane mix, and he is very sweet.
I love the sweater.
So
Yes.
sweet.
Love the sweater.
He sees himself on the monitor and was immediately like, have you seen my sweater? I look so good.
He's doing that pose now where he turns around, he's just like looking at the back like that. He knows how to
Skinny
pose.
pop. Skinny pop pose.
He's absolutely beautiful, and he's a particular mix. Tell us about that, Morgan.
Yeah, so he's actually a American Pit Bull Great Dane mix.
Wow.
So he's a strong boy,
Yeah.
but he is very sweet. He just loves people, and he
is
just wants
so-
cuddles.
Oh, as you can
He's
see,
very soft.
He's very soft. I'm actually really impressed by that. I don't know what breed that would be coming through, but he is so soft to the touch. And this, I can't get over this sweater. It's just really nice. It's like cuddling with a living blanket. Now he's got an interesting story. First of all, his name is Mars because he came in with another dog originally named Bruno.
Yes.
So they were Bruno and Mars.
I get it.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to? I was waiting for you to sing.
Put your pinky finger up to the sky,
Mars.
to the moon.
Mars.
Yeah.
Half-heartedly.
Come here.
Mars. Yeah, you see yourself. So
He
what
really
kind
likes
of
hot dogs.
household would Mars do best in?
Hot dogs.
Those are hot dogs?
Yes.
Do you have any for me?
Yeah.
For us,
Would
I
you
should
like
say.
that?
I'll
Got
pass,
a few
but
more pieces. He's
Okay.
very
You wanna come up?
motivated, so he
Come on up.
treats pretty easily. Somebody just needs to be consistent with him. He'd do well in a house where somebody wants to spend a lot of time with him because he does love people, as you can see.
I just got slobbered.
Yeah, he maybe
tail.
sometimes is overly affectionate, but if you just
Nothing
had
wrong
somebody
with that.
willing to do basic obedience with him, I think he would do super well because he is treat motivated and he's eager to please.
Hot dog motivated.
So it could be also a good bonding experience for him and his new owner.
I might need a new microphone. It's small enough. Yeah. I was in the splash zone just now.
That's okay. I've got him now.
He'd like lots of walks. He would like to have a lot of exercise. Yes. He
you
likes to
heard
sniff
that.
around. He's very confident, so he's not overly nervous. We were just walking around outside before we came in, and he didn't have any problem with the city.
Any idea how old he might be?
We have him estimated around 5 years old.
Around 5 years. That's a great age, buddy. You're doing so well.
A great family dog, perhaps?
I am not entirely sure how he is with children. I
Okay.
think that we would probably advise older children only because he's so big. He could knock small children over.
That's true.
He just
Yep.
kind of knocked me over a second ago.
Yes. But I think older kids that he could play with would be probably pretty good for him.
Any other specialties that he might require in the home?
We would like to do meet and greets with other dogs.
Okay.
He came in with another dog, but it's always good to do a meet and greet just to make sure that he's going to get along with whoever's in the home. And we are saying no cats.
Okay. I could see that.
Yeah, I can totally get that.
I could have probably told you that one.
He's looking right in the monitor at himself.
Yeah.
He seems like a total sweetie.
know
What
I'm very
about, you guys have a lot of dogs right now at the shelter?
We do, and actually for the month of October, all dogs over 1 year old and all cats over 1 year old are half off. So this is a great time to come in and adopt.
Where'd you get
And
your
he's
sweater?
a staff favorite, and we'd all love to see him go home.
Where'd you get
I
your
can
sweater?
see
This
why.
is so
Where's-
cute.
Corey is getting
I
some
kind of
fashion
want one in my
tips.
size. Actually, I could probably fit in that sweater.
You think so?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know who can fit in that sweater, or actually might be too big on him, is Keith Carson.
I was just about to. This is a very
Yeah.
nice medium sweater here,
Yeah,
Mars.
a very medium sweater.
It
It's
has a
big in
nice
dogs.
Cut out right here, which
it
would maybe
does.
be a little weird on a person, but
I'm sure we could figure out a
you don't
way
have to tuck it in. You
Yeah.
can just put a belt, I guess.
wear
You
it
can
with
French tuck it.
leggings.
You know what French tuck is?
Yes.
Mars, you want to? Yeah. I'm gonna give him fashion advice too after the segment.
I think he's got the fashion down.
I think he's doing better than any of us here today. And Morgan, you guys I have to point out, you had a wonderful young girl on the on First Six Who Care,
Yes,
who comes
Blake.
in, and Blake, she volunteers with kitty cats. She was wonderful, and I'm sure you've got so many people at the shelter who are just giving their time and their effort for animals just like this one right here.
We have
Mars.
a lot of really wonderful volunteers, and we have some volunteers actually that are very dedicated to working with Mars as well. Come here. That's why he knows how to sit so well.
Does he know any other tricks? Should we
He knows how to
this
eat
is
a
your
hot
time
dog?
to shine.
That's a
Eat
good
hot
trick.
dog.
Yeah.
I
Sit
don't
and eat
know
a hot
exactly
dog.
what
That's
it
all
is.
you need
Yeah.
to do.
That's right.
You could get through life with those two tricks.
Really can.
He's very excited
Resume builders.
There you go.
right now because he's in a new space, but actually outside, they've definitely been working on leash manners with him because he was actually really good walking around. He did not pull too hard.
Well, it's, this is a weird environment. There's a lot of lights. There's cameras that are scary.
He wants to sniff everything because it's a new space.
Morgan, why don't you tell us one more time how somebody can take home Mars ASAP?
So Mars will be at our Brunswick shelter. They open at noon today. We'll be open from noon to 6. So come on in and meet him, and you can also call ahead of time if you want some more information about him. But he'll be there waiting for his forever home. So come and get him soon.
He's waiting.
What a
you
sweetie.
guys. Very much so. All right, we got to take a break for right now, though.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you coming in.
thanks, Morgan.
Well, the Pats could have their hands full as they head out to the Midwest to face the Bears.
Hear what Gronk is saying about one of their best players. That's next. After defeating the then undefeated Kansas City Chiefs in Week 6, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots now have their sights set on the Chicago Bears, who they play this Sunday at Soldier Field in Chicago.
The Bears are coming off an overtime loss to the Miami Dolphins, but they are still in a three-way tie for the top of the NFC North. Besides playing on the road, the Pats' offense might have to contend with one of the league's best players. Bears defensive end Khalil Mack, a three-time Pro Bowler who in September signed a 6-year, $141 million contract, making him the highest-paid defensive player in NFL history. Now, Mack is still questionable for the game with an ankle injury, but that's not stopping the Patriots' offense from game planning for him come Sunday.
No, he's a great player. I mean, how big he is and how fast he is, how disruptive he is. We got to be aware of where he is every single snap.
Now, kickoff with the Chicago Bears is scheduled for 1 p.m. And speaking of football, the number 16 nationally ranked University of Maine Black Bears take their undefeated conference record on the road down to Virginia, where they visit William and Mary. Last Saturday, the Black Bears pulled off some last-second heroics to defeat the University of Rhode Island 38-36. At 2-4, William and Mary fell to Townsend University last week. Kickoff from Williamsburg is at 3:30 this afternoon.
Parents across the country are on high alert right now after a spike in cases of a rare polio-like disease. It's leaving some children partially paralyzed.
The condition is called acute flaccid myelitis, or AFM for short. The cause remains a mystery. The CDC says at least 62 cases have been confirmed in 22 states. It can paralyze a child's arms and legs. Some need ventilators to breathe. It can also cause muscle weakness, slurred speech, and difficulty moving eyes and swallowing. Cases are exceedingly rare. Fewer than 1 in a million children are affected, but for a small number of children, the results are devastating, and investigators still don't know what causes it.
It's 1 in a million incidents. So although parents understandably are concerned about what they're hearing about now, we need to make sure they're aware of it, they're alert to it, but they don't get necessarily overly frightened by it because it really is a rare occurrence.
Doctors are saying the best defense against the disease right now is to wash your hands as often as possible and make sure your kids' vaccinations are up to date and try to limit their exposure to large crowds.
Well, we are less than 3 weeks away from the midterm elections, and many candidates are still making their campaign pitches to you.
We'll learn about a Biddeford man running for a spot in Congress next. Midterm elections right around the corner, just days away now. Our final 1st Congressional District profile is on independent candidate Marty Groman. He's represented Biddeford in Maine's House of Representatives for 2 terms.
News Center Maine's Dustin Flukowski went to Groman's home city to find out why he wants to make the jump to Washington.
All right, let's talk about that UMaine group of colleges. The Portland Press-Herald reports that the University of Maine system now has close to 30,000 students enrolled in their educational network. That number is 2.5% higher than last year. Out-of-state enrollment is up over 4% to about 6,000 students, while state enrollment is up 2.1%. Officials attribute the rise to financial incentives and new programs the college system is now providing in both in-state programs and out-of-state programs to those students. Camp Sunshine's 16th annual Pumpkin Festival is happening today at LL Bean in Freeport, where nearly 10,000 pumpkins will be on display.
And for much of this week, high school students spent part of their days carving pumpkins for the festival. Yesterday was Westbrook High School's turn. Art students from Westbrook took their turn carving more than 100 pumpkins. Their theme was folklore and fairy tales. Students researched fairy tale origins and came up with a bunch of different designs based on that research. Their art teacher says it's a chance to learn while also giving back to the community.
All of these kids actually working together, having a chance to sit there and talk and, share ideas and collaborate. That overarching message of just raising money for an organization like Camp Sunshine is just, it's a great cause.
I think it's just helping make people more aware, and for Camp Sunshine, because everyone's like, yes, there's pumpkins, and there's a lot of little kids that come through here asking what we're doing. And I think the folklore and fairy tales is a good way to help them kind of connect the two.
Camp Sunshine at Sebago Lake in Casco hosts children with life-threatening illnesses and their families for free. They expect to raise nearly $60,000 for campers. The Pumpkin Fest is today from noon until 8 p.m.
That's going to be such a cool time every year. It looks so amazing. Well, we had a cold and windy week, so we all want to know, were those temperatures going to dip or rise today?
We'll find out. Corey will let us know after this.
Sounds good to me. I really like today's weather and how that looks. So thank you very much, Corey.
You're
and just to let you know, we've all been, the production team, we've all been singing Pocket Full of Sunshine ever since you said that. So thanks for that earworm.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And it's that time of the week again as we celebrate the best catches.
Yeah, it's our time for Mike Albert in Big Old Fish.
It's the Big Old Fish Show with Mike Albert.
Better.
Good luck sending those in. All right. Coming up, recent natural disasters have many across the country looking into their own homeowner protection.
Tips that you need to know before reviewing your homeowner insurance after this.
6:52 on the Weekend Morning Report. Home and business owners reeling from Hurricanes Michael and Florence now face the headache of trying to collect insurance claims.
It's a good reminder for us here in Maine to take a look at our own coverage. Scott Cohn offers some tips for risk-proofing your insurance coverage. More consumer news now. A new study shows that many teens are being exposed to e-cigarette advertising on Twitter.
Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh found at least a quarter of people who follow the Juul company on Twitter are underage. Many minors are also retweeting Juul's messages, exposing even more teens to the ads. Experts are concerned because adolescents exposed to e-cigarette marketing are more likely to use the devices. Coming up, we have some more stories to get your day started. Stay with us.
See you over there staring at your drink, watching that I sing alone tonight. And chances are
Well, you were hearing the voice of country music star Keith Urban singing to one of his biggest fans at a hospital in Ohio on Thursday.
Marissa English had tickets for Keith Urban's show in Toledo Thursday, but was unable to attend because she is now in hospice care. A group of Marissa's nurses started a social media campaign to get Urban to visit her in the hospital. After hundreds of retweets, the campaign apparently got Urban's attention, and before his show, he dropped by the hospital to sing to Marissa.
Oh man.
How beautiful
what
is
a great
that?
story
not
too.
trying to be another just pick you up kind of guy.
That's cool that he did that. And
I agree.
that's one thing where you hear on social media, like social media for good. Finally, we're hearing something that social media is doing that's positive.
I know,
You know?
I know. And Keith Urban, I've seen him do similar things like this before. He's one of those stars that you can't help but notice he really cares.
Yeah.
So I've seen him in concert. He's fabulous. And I mean, I'm a fan, so I guess I'm a little biased, but
Well,
he
I am
is a
too.
good guy. He's
I
a
am
very
too.
good guy. Married to Nicole Kidman, too. So the whole
What else
family is
do
just
you know?
really cool. Yeah, I know. Do you want some other facts here? I'll just spout them off.
That's cool though.
All right,
Really cool.
maybe we'll find out it's raining on Sunday tomorrow when Corey joins us in the next hour. That's another Keith Urban reference. We'll be right back after this break.
Wow, that was good.
I got a fever, and it's for the lottery ticket. Maine is not immune to the lottery fever, though. As of right now, the Mega Millions jackpot is record $1.6 billion after no one claimed the prize last night. No one has matched all 6 numbers and won the Mega Millions grand prize since July 24th, which is how that prize got so big.
Nice job there, Katie. A new report shows that the real estate market is continuing to show signs of growth across the state. According to Maine listings, the median sales price for a Maine home rose to $215,000 for the month of September. That's 3.75% higher than the median price found in September of last year. Sales were down about 5% from last year, though.
All right, so you still have another chance with the Powerball tonight. That's right, tonight it's being drawn. I bought that ticket too.
Yeah, you
still
did.
have another chance for me to not come in tomorrow if I win, but no, I'll be here no matter what.
You should be here.
I will.
Because then
I will.
you'd be able to rub it in her face.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah, sure you are.
Corey?
I don't know what to say about that, Katie. Okay.
Jackpot forecast?
I
No.
would
Today, maybe.
maybe a little bit. This afternoon. Yeah. Highest near 60. That's kind of like winning the jackpot, right? Maybe not.
Depends on what time of year.
Yeah, seriously.
We are looking at a mix of sun and clouds for Sunday. Breezy today, breezy tomorrow. Much cooler. Look at that. That's going to be a slap in the face tomorrow. Highs in the 40s. And then rain, maybe some mountain snow showers Tuesday. We'll stay in the 40s and 50s through much of next week. So that's staying below average.
Well, looks pretty good to me. I mean, for this time of year. At least we're not snowing all the time just yet. Even though we got some snow.
Counting down the time.
Corey, thanks so much. Clay, good to have you back. Happy to have everybody back together on the weekend desk. For now, we got to go, though, but we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Am I too strong? Am I too strong? Right here on the Weekend Morning Report.